Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Trade Ideas Live Trading Room Recap for Thursday, May the 5th. My name is Barry Anderson. I'm the moderator of the Trade Ideas Trading Room. This is the address to get in. This is a free room. Even if you're not a member of Trade Ideas, you can come on in. I share my screen all day long, and I'm live on the mic between 9 and 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And if you'd like to take out a subscription to Trade Ideas, this is the link to use, and you can use the promo code Holly, Holly, all in caps, capital letters, Holly 4, the number 4. So Holly 4 in caps, and use this link, and that'll get you instant discounts off either the monthly or annual, or Holly itself, or the annual plus Holly and the other premium services. All right, now, very strange day for me. I actually only had one trade. I had some brokerage issues and kind of got it to sink a little bit. So I only have the one trade, and it did come off Holly. Now, I just want to talk a little bit about Holly too, and what has happened. And it's too bad I had this problem, because you see here, as I've been telling people, to watch this non-exit profit column. And you can see here's an example. APA got stopped out for a 12-cent loss on a time stop, turned right around. Now, I should say that Holly had, at the beginning of the day anyway, most of the trades were short, even though the market was up. The inclination for Holly was to get into these short trades. And at one point, I think it was something like 13 or 14 shorts versus 5 long trades that it had. And you can see actually the market too. If you look at the SPY, you see what happened. It was positive to begin with. Here's where it closed yesterday, and here's the pre-market. A little bit of drift down. It had a pop, but you can see that it's sort of been, not, I won't call it drifting down because we didn't have a pull up here, but on a downward trend. We're pulling up a little bit here, but it's been basically a negative market once we got rid of this opening pop, and the market now is truly negative. But the interesting thing again is that even in this time, Holly was looking at getting short most of the trades. And so again, taking a look at, drag it over here. Taking a look at the non-exit profit is so non-exit profit column is so key, because again, here's Oxy. It got stopped out, time stop, 33 cents, but it still was working. Now it's 83 cents from the original entry price. Another one, Save, 42 cents on the stop, but it's 82 cents. So in other words, what I'm trying to say here is that just because we get stopped out, and these are time stops, and they were positive, it doesn't mean that you have to get out of the trade if you were in it, of course. Or if you weren't in it in the first place, you start watching this column, and as the trades continue to work, there's probably no reason why you couldn't get into the trade and basically put your stop back at the exit price. And so a lot of times you could have a pretty tight stop, and if the trade starts working for you on a tight stop, that'll turn into a very good risk reward. Papa John's another one. I mean, we got stopped out. Papa John's, it was supposed to be a short, and this is the one that ripped all day yesterday on earnings, and it had a follow through. So what Holly is looking for is a top. Now, the alert came a little bit early, but look what happened afterwards. So yes, if you took the trade, you would have got stopped out. There's no doubt about it. You would have got stopped out for a 98-cent loss. But then you could have turned around and taken the trade at the exact same trigger, and I think at one point actually we'd be up $1 because it's now starting to come back a little bit. But at the bottom here, maybe not $1, but close. I mean, that's right now that's a difference of about 30 cents. So if I add 30 cents to this, that would be, at one point the non-exit profit was showing 80 cents. So it almost was a wash. Now, one of the things that Steve Gomez, if you watched his webinar last night, his Trade of the Week webinar last night, one of the things he said, and interesting, I hadn't really thought of it like this, but when we're watching the non-exit profit, again, some of the reasons why, well, there are only 3 reasons that Holly is going to get out of a trade. The first reason is on a time stop. Every single strategy will be closed at some point or another by the end of the day. This one happens to be 10 to 4, but the rest of them generally they're all about 60 minutes. Okay, some are 30, some are 60, some are 90, some are 120, but I would have to say on average We seem to be looking at about a 60-minute hold time. And some of them have a profit target, an actual profit dollar target. Some have a percentage profit target. And then, of course, each particular stock has its own stop price. So these are the ways in which Holly gets out of a trade. You know, time stop, or a profit target, or the actual stop out price. So what Steve was saying is that when we're watching this non-exit profit, his most favorite ones to watch are on the time stops, especially the ones that were positive, that you made money on. Doesn't now it you know, a stop hit is for a reason. I mean, you know, Holly's looking at that, and we're using some proprietary indicators to try to come up with that particular price for each individual stock. And so when it gets stopped, okay, now this one did turn around. I'm not saying that this one didn't work, but in order of, I would probably pay more attention to the ones that get stopped out on time, because again, it's somewhat arbitrary. Yes, the strategies have been optimized for that particular time stop, but that doesn't mean, of course, that if you're in the trade and it's still profitable, that you would necessarily have to get out. Or even if it wasn't profitable, what if it was, you know, you lost? Let's see if I can find one here. Here's one. I mean, it's not a perfect example, but maybe it'll start working. NFX time stopped out for a 15-cent loss. Nothing major. But you know, now it has turned around, and you know, you'd be 20 cents to the good based on that entry price. So here's what you can do when you get to, when you start seeing these. You don't actually even have to watch this column so much. But if you start putting price alerts on the areas of the well, there would be two of them. If you got stopped out because of a time, like literally a stop hit, you could put the entry back at 60.71. You could put a price alert at 60.71, or you could put it at the exit. In this particular case, let me get a better one here. Here, you see, you could put it at the actual exit price. And so because here we see a profit of 45 cents. Now, had it dipped down below 45 cents on the non-exit profit, I hope I'm not complicating this too much, but imagine that, you know, this just appears now on the closed, and it's saying, like, the non-exit will be exactly the same as the profit, of course, right at the time it closes. But let's say this starts to dip down, 45, 43, 40, 35. Well, then I would be putting an alert, a price alert on 45, where we exited, and see if it got back there again and just resume the trend. So you don't actually have to be, you know, watching this so much like a hawk, though I do. I like seeing this all day long. But you could literally put the price alerts right on the chart, and then you could get alerted, because, you know, when you get an alert on our price alerts, you get a sound alert, and also the latest alert will appear right on the top, just like this. This was my, you know, I didn't have very many today, obviously. And so the latest one will appear right in the top, and you'll also get a sound alert. So, wow, that's it. I mean, again, a strange day for me. Just well, I didn't even go over the trade. What was it? It was the C right here. DISCA, sorry, DSCA, DISCA, DISCA, and the alert, let me just find it here, is right here. So you notice we have a blue arrow right there. There's where the alert occurred. And I ended up taking the trade. I didn't, the actual alert is right there at 27.79. And, you know, I waited a little bit. To be honest, I don't like taking the trades that early. I prefer them to set up a little bit more, just because of this whippy action that can happen at the beginning. But I decided that when it broke through 28, I would take the trade. And I took it at 28.02, and I took some off at 28.22 as it was popping up. And then as it was coming right back down again, I exited. Now, this was an earnings play, so, you know, had the market been a little bit different, this may have continued. However, the 200-day moving average was right in this area also. I think it was right around here. So that was serving to be a bit of an impediment. Even though it broke through it, it did serve to be a bit of an impediment. And look what's happened since then. But this is sort of what I would consider the overall market too. What I want to also show you, though, is Weight Watchers, because let me just show you where it was triggered. And this is why we say that, there has to be some human interaction. Okay. So Weight Watchers, you see, was triggered at 10:01. And look what's happened. It got out a time stop. It was probably a 60-minute hold, and it stopped out for a 4-cent loss. Now, in the real world, that would never have happened because remember we're talking 1325 was the trigger right here. Okay, and it was actually 1325, and look what happened afterwards. It actually popped up. Just a second here. I've got to get the very time frame. Just 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. So here's where it happened, 1325, all right? But look what happened in that candle, got up to 1376. Remember now, 1325 is a trigger. It hit a high of 1376 before it started down. Now, there is no way in the world that you would have let this turn into a negative like Holly has, because it didn't take, it obviously didn't hit the profit target. It didn't go up high enough. I think this particular strategy, I'm not even sure if it has an actual profit target, but it got time stopped out. But there's no way in the world that you would have let this turn into a negative. And so one of the things we're trying to work on is our exit strategies, because quite frankly, it's unfair to Holly to show this as a 4-cent loss when, as I say, nobody in their right mind, nobody would let that sort of profit happen, because this was very quick that this happened. You wouldn't let this turn into a negative. You would have taken some profit. You would have watched it go up. This is what I would have done anyway. Would have watched it go up. I would have watched this very, very, very closely to see if it was just a minor pullback, and then I might have definitely got out of it right there. Just 1 second. All right. Well, I think I've hammered this home. You would never let that take a loss, and but Holly, because of the way it's structured, what we're trying to work on are different exit strategies, trailing stops, things like that. And I think that's going to obviously it's going to improve Holly's odds performance, which is still excellent. When you look at what we've done versus the SPY. In fact, let me just see if I can. Second here. It's driving me nuts. I'm trying to just. All right, so this is you may have seen this before if you've seen some of the other webinars, but this is Holly's performance. This is up to date as of yesterday. This is Holly's performance against the SPY. And, we're starting to now get a gap here. I mean, this is pretty impressive. And again, this is when I, showed you the Weight Watchers one as an example. That's counting all those ones which probably would never have turned into a loss. Would have taken profit along the way. But still awfully impressive that what we're doing is we're basically beating the market. All right, and this is taking every single trade since January and comparing ourselves to the SPY, to the overall market, because people are always saying to us, how is Holly doing? Well, this is how it's doing. All right, let me just close this one down, see if I can do that. Okay, let me just, there we go. Okay, so again, this is a free room. I don't know too many others like that in the internet that are actually is a free room where you have a moderator live on the mic all day long, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and I share my screen. So this is the address, and you don't have to be a member of Trade Ideas. It's a free room, no strings attached. And but if you do want to take out a subscription to Trade Ideas, this is the link to use, and use the code Holly HOLLY 4. That is the promo code to use, and you'll get a great discount off the various subscription plans that we have. All right, thanks for listening, and we'll hopefully see you in our trading room tomorrow. If I can find this little, I don't know why it's doing that.